Hello and welcome back once again to After the Credits. So today, I went and saw... I don't even want to say the name of it just because... I went and saw the new Ghostbusters, if you will. First of all, I want to get this out of the way that this movie wasn't bad because it had an all-female cast. It was bad because it was just bad, okay? Honestly, all the girls in this film did a decent job with what they were given. Unfortunately, they weren't given much. I don't even know where to start with this movie. Remember everything that was fun about the first Ghostbusters? Remember everything that was entertaining about the second Ghostbusters, even though everyone complains about that movie being so bad now? At one time, it was actually considered a good film. It was a good sequel. Now it seems more common to dislike it. But if you think back to everything that was good about those movies, all of that has been stripped away for this movie. This movie basically follows the concept of if Ghostbusters happened in a different reality, I guess. The original Ghostbusters, every single one of them except for Harold Ramis, who has passed away, appear in this film. Everyone from the first two. Well, the main cast, I should say. Bill Murray makes an appearance. Dan Aykroyd makes an appearance. Ernie Hudson makes an appearance. Can't remember her name, but the girl that plays Janine. I think her last name is Potts. I can't remember her first name. She makes an appearance. And even Sigourney Weaver makes an appearance in this film. You know, basically all five of the original cast, well, there were seven basically in the original cast once you consider Rick Moranis, who does not appear in this, thankfully. And, of course, like I said, Harold Ramis, who has passed away. Everyone else makes an appearance in this, but they're all not the Ghostbusters. They're all different characters. Now, yes, it could be that the Ghostbusters, the other Ghostbusters still exist in this universe. They just aren't known to these girls for some reason. And that the actors could be playing different people who are just similar in appearance, which has happened in movies before and TV shows before. But I don't think that's what they're going for in this. I think they're legitimately going for this is an alternate reality where those Ghostbusters never happened and these Ghostbusters did. Honestly, I think that's probably what they were going to go for with all the other versions of Ghostbusters they were getting ready to come out with before this one bombed. I think the next one was supposed to be like retired sports superstars became the Ghostbusters. Like, I don't remember if they were all going to be football players or ex-basketball players or something like that, but they were going to have like a bunch of jock guys come into acting and try and be Ghostbusters for the next one that they were doing after this one. From what I hear, that's now been scrapped because this one got panned so damn hard. But, yeah, so overall the girls aren't bad. This movie was just poorly written. I don't know who was involved in the writing of it, but it was just awful. You know, it'd take everything that was good from the first one, even the second one, throw all that out the window, and add in a bunch of fart jokes. I mean, that's really all this movie was. I mean, I don't even really know where to start with the movie because I don't want to give the whole movie away. But at the same time, if I don't, it's hard to talk about what was wrong with this movie. We start out with the new Peter Venkman character. In case you can't tell, each one of these girls is supposed to be a different one of the original Ghostbusters. You got the one girl who's supposed to be the Peter Venkman character, then you have Melissa McCarthy who's supposed to be the Dan Aykroyd character, Ray Stantz, trying to remember all their names. You got the blonde-haired girl who's supposed to be Egon, and then you have, of course, the black girl who's supposed to be Winston. Go figure. So we have the Peter Venkman character, whose name escapes me. She is a college professor who is up for tenure. Apparently her and Melissa McCarthy's character had written a book about paranormal activities when they were younger, and she's kind of, the Peter Venkman character has kind of put all that behind her and is trying to have a more serious career, and now the book has been published and is showing up, and she's afraid the school is going to find out about it, so she goes to talk to Melissa McCarthy before the school does find out about it to see if she can at least take it down off of Amazon until after she gets tenure, then put it back up, whatever. I already got tenure, they can't fire me at that. Melissa McCarthy's character is like, you know, we had our falling out when we split, but you know what, whatever. Yeah, I'll take it down, provided you go on this one research thing with us, you know, to go check out this thing that we're going to go check out. So then we get introduced to the Egon character, who's been working with Melissa McCarthy's character to actually develop some of the technology that they theorized in their book. So the three of them go to check out this thing. They have the whole library scene, basically. I don't think it actually takes place in a library this time. It's in like some old haunted mansion or something. There's actually a real ghost in it. And of course, Peter Venkman, I guess, of course, gets slimed by the ghost, just like Peter did in the first one. And then after that, she's kind of happy that she actually saw a ghost, and the other two saw the ghost with her, so people won't think she's crazy. And she's kind of like ranting about, yeah, the ghosts are real, and of course that makes it to YouTube, because YouTube is a major factor in this movie. Everyone's posting comments on YouTube. So that ends up on YouTube. Her dean sees it, and she gets fired before she gets tenure. So Melissa McCarthy's character says, well, you know, why don't you just come work at the university where we work at? You know, they love us, they fund us, blah, blah, blah. You know, let's go talk to the dean, see if we can get you into our department. With a third scientist, we can probably even get more funding. So they go and talk to the new dean, I guess, or whatever the person who does the hiring and firing is. I believe that's the dean. Could be wrong. The head administrator, whatever. And he basically says, you know, honestly, when I took over, I actually forgot your department existed. Otherwise, you would have been fired a long time ago, so all of you are out. So, okay, let's just kind of go do it on our own. You know, we'll finance the whole thing ourselves. By stealing equipment from the college that they were just fired from. And, of course, the dean guy comes out and basically says, hey, you know, that equipment belongs to the college even though it's worthless to us. So basically acknowledging that they're not going to miss it. It's worthless to the college, but it's still their property and they shouldn't be stealing it. Whatever. So they go and look for a new place to live and work out of, and they find the firehouse. Firehouse is out of their price range, so they end up living above a Chinese takeout place, and that's their new office of operations. Enter Chris Hemsworth, who is applying to be their receptionist, who is completely dumb and doesn't even know how to answer a phone. Look, in the original film, when they hired Janine, she had no interest in her job, but she was competent enough to do her job. She was there for the paycheck. She didn't really believe in all the ghost stuff. She didn't really care. She could answer a phone and take a message for a paycheck. That's why she was there. That's why the first time she answers the phone, she says, Ghostbusters, what do you want? This guy is too dumb to realize that when the phone's ringing, answer it. And then once he does answer it, he just kind of goes, yeah, okay, and hangs up, and they have to physically ask him what the call was about, and he goes, oh yeah, there's a ghost at this place. And then he always gets the names wrong, and they have to try and figure out what he's talking about. And the only reason they don't fire this guy, other than he's probably the only person that applied for the job, is Patricia has a huge crush on him, and she wants man candy around the office because he's fun to look at, even though he's dumb and he's probably going to cost them a fortune because he doesn't know how to do his job competently. And she gets to the point, yes, Peter Venkman was a bit of a flirt when girls came around, but I mean, she's a bit like stalkerish when it comes to him. It's like anytime he's near, she just kind of like starts saying the most obscure and inappropriate things, and like even Melissa McCarthy's character at one point says, "You are a lawsuit waiting to happen," or a sexual harassment suit waiting to happen, or something along those lines. And she just kind of laughs it off, like, "Ha, yeah, I know." And no, that's not what Peter Venkman's character was. Yes, he was a flirt with women. He didn't go around groping them and being like, "Oh, you have nice boobies," and things like that. That's not who Peter Venkman was. And if that's what you think how a female responds to a good-looking guy, then obviously you don't know women at all, whoever the hell wrote this. So why would you write a script for an all-woman cast if you don't know the first thing about how women would act in a situation? Seriously. So anyway, they finally get another call about another ghost. So they go and check that one out. And by the way, I'm only like 30 minutes into the movie right now, and I'm already 13 minutes into this review. So buckle up, this is going to be a long ride. So the next call takes them down into the subway, where they meet female Winston. So she's showing them what happened, what she witnessed, and whatnot. And then she just kind of decides, okay, I'm on the team now, and quits her job working for the subway and just kind of like starts following them around. And they're like, whoa, wait, what are you doing? You know, we're scientists and whatnot. And she says, yeah, but the thing is, I know this city like the back of my hand. I know a lot of history of all the buildings around here. You know, I could be beneficial to your team. And then they kind of have another moment with Chris Hemsworth, or whichever Hemsworth it was, Man Candy, and they just kind of stop mid-sentence again because they have to again remind this fucking idiot to answer the phone when it rings. So they're like mid-conversation, the phone's ringing, they stop, honey, you need to answer the phone, and then they get the message from them, and then they like jump right back into the conversation. So you can kind of tell that wasn't originally there. They were talking to her, and because what she said led into the next part of it, but they cut it right there, added in this crap with Man Candy, and then went back to it, so there's like a real weird cut in the conversation. And it's like, yeah, you don't need to add in this stupid bullshit for a laugh, because it wasn't fucking funny the first time. Let's plug it in 17 more times, because that's how comedy works, right? Repetition, repetition, repetition. That's funny now, right? Because I keep saying repetition. No, it's not. So, okay, you're on the team, whatever. Okay, good. Well, I can get us a car so we don't have to carry around all this equipment that we've been developing. Because, yeah, that's the first hour and a half of this 2-hour film is them developing and testing all the new equipment. You notice we didn't have to do that in the first Ghostbusters. We had a concept. Okay, we need to build some shit to catch ghosts. Okay, here's all the shit we built, ready to go. That's it. In the second one, they had to build the damn slime gun. You didn't see 2 hours of Egon building the fucking slime gun so they could go make the Statue of Liberty walk down Main Street. No, he did it off camera. Okay, here it is. It's finished. It should work. So she gets them a hearse, which becomes Ecto-1. They keep developing the proton packs. At first it's like this big thing that doesn't work right. They modify it so it's easier to carry on your back. Make it work more functional. Then they realize they don't have any way of containing the ghost once they lasso it with these fucking things. So then they go and develop the trap. Then they make some adjustments to the weaponry. They add some new weapons. They go out to an alley and test them, which results in Melissa McCarthy, when the first time she fires the proton pack, doesn't have her legs planted properly, so she gets blown up in the air and she's flying around on the damn thing like it's a fire hose in the old frickin' Three Stooges films where they're riding the fire hose through the sky. And it's a damn proton pack, and she's got it like held between her legs, where at one point her leg kind of falls through the beam, and this is a particle beam. It would have sawed her fucking leg off, but no, let's just ignore that cut there, you know. They finally get called in to talk to the mayor by Homeland Security, and the mayor's like, look, we know what's going on, we've been monitoring it, you're drawing more attention to it in the public eye than what we want drawn to it, so keep doing your research, but stop being public about it, and we're going to basically call you guys lunatics and deny anything about you guys that we're working with you or that any of this is real. Okay, fine, whatever. You want to avoid mass hysteria. I get it. But don't be stupid about it. When shit's going on, don't just be like, you know, hey, not here. Be like, look, let's talk about this outside and go listen to what the fuck they gotta say and take proper actions to do it if you've been investigating it. That was the thing, again, in the first and second one. In the first one, the mayor didn't witness it. The mayor got called in because of an incident with fucking Walter Peck turning off the grid and releasing ghosts everywhere. The mayor had never seen a ghost. He didn't believe the ghost thing. But he's like, you know what? Do whatever you gotta do because there's shit going on that I don't understand. In the second one, you had, can't think of the guy's name, coming between the Ghostbusters and the mayor, and because he was up for re-election. Okay, makes sense. At that point, the mayor knew about the ghosts, but it's up for re-election. It's been a few years. There hasn't been any ghost activities. Let's not stir that pot again. Got it. Worked in the second one. This one, oh yeah, we know about it, but we're just going to act completely stupid because we're the fucking government. Okay, so they continue to investigate. They finally find out what's going on. It's going to be a cataclysmic thing. They go to warn the mayor, and the mayor has them thrown out on their asses and basically says they're crazy. And then downtown explodes with fucking ghosts. At this point, all the ghosts show up as giant Macy's Day balloons that look like Halloween figures. But, you know, we gotta have giant Macy's Day balloons so we can reintroduce the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And I'm not even fucking kidding. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is a giant fucking balloon that's in this movie for about 3 seconds before he gets popped with a fucking Swiss Army knife. Do you really want me to keep going? I mean, it's been 20 minutes, and we're at the halfway mark. I mean, I'm not even fucking kidding. So, Ben Slimer steals the car and runs off with a female Slimer on a fucking joyride. Because that happens. So then, we meet back up with the big bad who's causing all this shit, who's not even a ghost, or he wasn't at the beginning of the film. He becomes a ghost at one point, because he has to, in order to realize his ultimate plan. They catch up with Ghost Man, who at this point has kidnapped Man Candy, because Man Candy wanted to be a Ghostbuster and actually help out. Look, I understand in the second one, Rick Moranis' character, Lewis, became an honorary Ghostbuster. He suited up, he fired off a proton pack, and the way it looked to everyone else, his determination helped save the city, even though the Ghostbusters did the actual work inside. And through that, he became an honorary Ghostbuster because he manned up in a time of need and tried to help. Man Candy here does it because he's a fucking idiot and he wants to play along too, which results in him getting kidnapped by the ghost, the big bad guy. So, of course, the Ghostbusters have to go rescue the idiot, and they finally catch up with the big bad, and he releases Man Candy. And he goes, choose a form that you want to battle against. So, female Winston says, I want something small, cute, and not so ferocious. And he jokingly turns into the Ghostbusters logo. He goes, how about something like this? And she goes, that works for me. He goes, okay, no problem. So he becomes a giant version of the Ghostbusters logo to fight these guys. So, this is our actual Stay Puft battle for this movie, the giant Ghostbusters logo. And of course he's got to be bigger than Stay Puft. You know, Stay Puft was like 50 feet tall or whatever in the first one. No, this giant Ghostbuster symbol is the size of the biggest fucking skyscraper in New York. He starts out on the ground floor and expands until he breaks the entire building and it crumbles around him. So he is as tall as however tall this fucking skyscraper was. Because that's realistic to battle against, right? Yeah. So, he opens the portal to release all the ghosts into the world. Of course, they have a simple solution for how to reverse it right away, which they do, but because he's so big, he can just kind of hold on to a couple buildings and stop himself from being sucked in, so they gotta figure out a way to get him to let go. So what do? Let's all fire our proton packs at his nuts. Because, you know, that's the only way girls can fight is hitting a guy in the balls, right? So, he goes back into the thing, day is saved, portal's closed, whatever. Man Candy shows back up with a burrito or a sandwich or something, and he's like, oh, hey, there you guys are, I was looking for you. And they're like, are you holding a sandwich? He goes, oh yeah, I was looking for you over at the deli over there. And they're like, really? And it seems like they're about to get pissed off at him and actually fire him. But no, after they kind of scold him for it, they're like, oh, you. And, you know, it's just, they give him another break. Did you guys' head hurt as much as mine? So, of course, then we have the credits rolling, because we're finally at the end of the movie. But, as the credits play, we're continuing to watch the further developments of the movie. We're continuing to watch them develop more technology. Oh, this is what we might use in the next film, you know, because the next one wasn't supposed to be Girl Busters. It was supposed to be Basketball Busters, or whatever the fuck they were going to do. But, hey, here's this other technology we might use in the next film. And they actually do sequel bait. Can't even deny it. They sequel bait this film, even though, again, the next planned one wasn't supposed to involve the girls at all. It was supposed to be a completely different team of Ghostbusters existing in another parallel universe. How do they sequel bait this? Well, they try to go back to the fart joke from the beginning of the movie, the first one out of the probably 50 that were in this. And you think, okay, they're playing it on female Winston because, you know, she hasn't really been initiated into the team properly yet. Basically, they have a white noise recording, you know, just static, and if you listen, you're supposed to be able to hear voices talking in it. You know, if you've ever seen any of the paranormal investigation shows, you know what I'm talking about. So when female Peter comes to Melissa McCarthy's workshop in the beginning to try and stop the book from being published, she goes, well, hey, I got this white noise. You know, I kind of hear something, but I'm not sure. Can you listen to it and tell me what you think? And so she gets real close in by the speakers, and then you just hear, and she's like, oh, haha, you got me. So you see female Winston listening to this tape recorder at the end, and then she kind of takes off the headphones and looks around weird, and they're like, did you hear something? Like, haha, we pulled the fart joke on you too. And she says, yeah, what's Zool? Really? You had to throw fucking Zool in there? Whatever. So, yeah, there's your sequel bait for the next film. That's hopefully never going to come. And then they have the nerve to put on the end of the fucking credits for Harold Ramis. Okay. I know Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd were both involved in the writing of the first two and in some subsequent scripts for the third one that never materialized. I think he would be embarrassed by this film, so to dedicate it to his memory, you know, why don't you just slap the guy in the face, you know, dig him up, open up his casket, slap him in the face, throw him back in, throw dirt on him, whatever. So, there you have it. That's what happens in Ghostbusters. I'm not going to call it I'm going to call it Girlbusters, and again, it's not to be condescending to the fact that it was a girl cast, because the girl cast wasn't that bad. That's not what ruined this film. What ruined Girlbusters is the shitty fucking writing, the stupid fart jokes, and just, it was overall boring. You spent so many hours developing tools that we barely get to see used. Oh, by the way, speaking of the fucking tools, I forgot to tell you about the battle leading up to the fight with the big bad, because he sends this army of ghosts to fight them. Apparently the proton packs are baseball bats and whips now, too. You know, instead of being shot out and being a lasso that kind of holds an entity in place until you can throw out the trap and suck it in like a vacuum, no, now you can use it as a whip and slash ghosts in half, or tie it around them and throw them across the room. It's a baseball bat, so you can just wind up and smack them with it. It's a gun, too. You know, she's got her other little gun, so she can just shoot them and blow people up that way. They have grenades now that they throw at the ghost that explode and just evaporate the ghost. The proton pack isn't a goddamn gun. It's not a baseball bat. It's not a whip. It's something you fire at a ghost, and it cancels out their ability to move through solid objects and holds them in a stationary position until you can trap them. Sometimes they're a little bit more powerful than the beam, and they can move a little bit around a room, which is why you have to continuously follow them and hold them. It's not a goddamn lightsaber. It's not a rod that comes out of something that you can just beat the shit out of people with. It's not a fucking laser sword. What would I give this as far as a star rating? You know, before I even get into the star rating, I do want to talk about female Winston for a second. One thing I'm getting real fucking sick of in movies, because, again, go back and watch the first two Ghostbusters. This shit didn't happen. Why is it, aside from all the fart jokes and stupid fucking stuff that isn't funny that they put in all these remakes of 80s movies now, why is it that anytime there's a black person, they have to bring up a fucking racial issue? Okay, it'd be one thing if something actually happened in the movie that prompted it, but they bring it up for nonsensical reasons. They're on the stage at this concert trying to fight a ghost, and Melissa McCarthy is trying to clear the aisle so she can get down to, so they can kind of surround it, and she tells female Winston to go down the other aisle, so there'll be two in the back, two up on the stage, so they can get it from all four corners. It won't be able to move, and they can throw the trap out and catch it. Great plan. The people won't move, so Melissa McCarthy goes, well, you can either move, or you're going to get crushed because I'm jumping, and she jumps and they catch her, and she crowd surfs. So, of course, female Winston does it, and everyone moves, and she hits the floor. So the first words out of her fucking mouth are, I don't know if this was a female thing or a black thing, but I'm pissed off. Why does that shit have to exist in a fucking movie? Why do you have to bring, first of all, the fact that, haha, we're poking fun at everyone was hating on this film because it's an all-girl cast? That didn't need to be there. The fucking meta humor wasn't funny. But why the fuck do you gotta throw racism into a goddamn kids movie? It didn't matter if you're fucking black. It doesn't matter if you're fucking Hispanic. It doesn't matter if you're Asian. I'm not gonna go off on that tirade right now. because I might end up saying something that makes this look worse than what it is. But these types of things don't have to exist in a movie. Go back and watch the first two Ghostbusters. Did Winston ever once say, "Oh, I got stuck with you guys because I'm black. I got all the marshmallow fluff dumped on me when you guys didn't get anything because I'm black"? Did he say, "Oh, I got dropped in the river of slime in the second one and floated all the way to the museum, because I'm black"? That shit does not need to exist in these films. It doesn't need to exist in any film because you're making a racial issue where there isn't one, and it doesn't serve a purpose. It doesn't benefit anyone to throw that type of bullshit into this film. Again, it's just another example of a lazy fucking writer who has no business writing a Hollywood film, trying to be funny, trying to be meta, trying to be deep and bring up this social issue, and you don't know how the fuck to do it. What is wrong with the writers? Why does everything have to be fucking shit and fart jokes and racism? Seriously, go back and look at that new fucking vacation movie they put out. Oh, it's supposed to be an actual continuation of the first and second one. Really? Because the first and second one were fucking funny, and I don't know what the fuck that piece of shit was. The best joke you had in it was, "Oh, look, our family's swimming in sewage because we think it's a hot spring." And you threw that in the fucking trailer, and it wasn't funny there either. Yeah, poop jokes. Yeah. Way to go, Hollywood. So what would I give this piece of fucking shit for a star rating? That's what you guys really want to know after 33 minutes of me talking about this pile of shit. I think probably for the first time in the history of me doing this, I might have given something else this rating before too. It's getting a 1. Honestly, I should probably do like a half star or 0 stars. I'm giving it a 1 solely because despite the shitty writing, despite the stupid poop humor in the movie, despite the pointless racism angle, despite not understanding the characters from the first one at all, despite all of that, it wasn't the women who ruined this movie. It wasn't their acting. They all did fine. It's the shit they were given to work with. That alone saved this from being a 0. I'll give quarter star for each of the 4 female actors because honestly they were the only thing worth watching in this movie. And again, it wasn't funny, but if it's between let's watch these cringeworthy performances based on the shitty writing or watch Chris Helmsworth act like a fucking idiot, I'll watch the 4 girls. Sorry, Chris. I'm sure you're a great actor. But for this, again, you probably fall victim to it too because it was shitty writing, but you agreed to be in this fucking piece of shit with that role. I mean, at least the girls tried. They tried to make a representation of what the other characters were. It was just shit. Don't go see this fucking movie. Don't waste your money on it. Don't Redbox it. Don't Netflix it because that's a waste of your $8 a month for Netflix. Don't Hulu it. Don't Amazon it. Don't pay for a fucking cable subscription to HBO or Showtime or Starz or Encore to see it when it comes out on there. Don't watch it when it comes out on network TV heavily edited. Don't watch it. Don't. Don't let someone loan it to you who owns it and try and watch it. It's 2 hours of your life you will never get back. So that's my review of Girlbusters. Again, not a condescending title. I just refuse to acknowledge it as a Ghostbusters film. So, because the main cast is girls, it's Girlbusters. Hence the title card attached to this video. So, yeah, there you have it. That's my review. If you don't like it, tough shit, that's my opinion. Until next time, as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Links are in the description. And until next time, we'll see you after the credits.